Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late night WrestleMania 41 Night 1 review. WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, this is just night 1. Maybe it'll be a better show tomorrow. But I gotta tell you guys, for a show that's supposedly called WrestleMania, they're doing this because of money, clearly. If you really, again, the build to WrestleMania has proven that WrestleMania should not have been too nice this year. It's a dumpster fire. Like, this is what the firefighters are coming. Yeah. They know they need to save. I don't know what can save this show. Okay. WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania this year had a lackluster build. It really did. Especially when you compare the show to last year. This show really had a lackluster build. And look what happened. The scheduling of this WrestleMania weekend in general end up now to that WrestleMania is just... Oh man, I gotta see what's going on here, man. I gotta see what's going on. Why is it all this late night? It's like 1 a.m. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, since it's WrestleMania, grab your Coca-Colas. I can drink my Coca-Cola. Right? Grab your Coca-Colas, drinking my Nisties, 5 minutes bitches go, oh shit, on a big black couch. Okay, let's pour up something for us there. And also happy Easter. Oh shit, this is the holiday weekend after all. WrestleMania happening in Easter weekend, and honestly it feels like more demonish. Okay, it really does. Cheers. My sip is your last sip, ladies and gentlemen. This is my body. This is my essence. This is my savior. This is what keeps me pure. It is also your pure. Anyways, WrestleMania this year had a dumpster fire of a build, and it ended up really messing them up. Where now this show, my God. Luckily, this is night 1, folks, because night 1 kind of was a dumpster fire of the show. If this show probably did not have that main event, even though, let's be honest, that main event of the show had no great story, okay? And it's just like, who the hell really cares of this Punk and Heyman nonsense? And really, the match is just happening as a triple threat just for the love of Paul Heyman, which is so gay. But because the match was good, it saved the show. If that match didn't happen, this would have been one of the worst nights of WrestleMania I've seen. Straight up. It probably would be just as bad as... if memory serves me right, I remember WrestleMania 37 Night 1, I thought that was trash. Okay? But a lot of people ended up pretend that show was good because, it had a women's main event and people act like cucks for that match. Even though that match is not even that good as people pretend it is. Because it's black women main eventing the show. Even though that's not a true main event. Let's be honest here, this is not the true main event of the show. But whatever. WrestleMania 41, man. What a dumpster fire of a show that is. It is. Night 1, and if it didn't have the main event, I don't know. This was a very mid show. Very. It was just... This show really felt like such a B-rated pay-per-view. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. It really did not. It just felt like you're watching somewhat like a Backlash in a bigger arena or something. It didn't feel like the show of shows. It didn't feel like the grandest stage, the best show of the year. It really did not. I gotta tell you. For starters, I will say the positive. The WrestleMania stage is incredible. I will give credit to that. The freaking WrestleMania stage is beautiful. I'm not denying that. I love the Caesar Palace look. I like it a lot. I do. It's beautiful. Give credit to that. But again, it was all just show. Nothing much. And I will say it also had a good old school look, I will say. But other than that, it's just that, like, the show didn't have much until the main event, so we'll get to it. Anyways, the show started with Triple H, the game, welcome to WrestleMania. Like, okay, whatever. And then, hyper package. This entire show was had a lot of time wasted. Bunch of clips, bunch of video packages, bunch of promotions. That's what this show was. It's just a big giant advertisement. Didn't feel like WrestleMania, didn't feel like, a showcase of great talents. Like, this is the end all be all things. It's just like, it's whatever. You know what I mean? But whatever. What's done is done. Let's just talk about the show there. So the show started. This show was basically 4 hours. The show started with the World Heavyweight Championship match. The match that, again, it was supposed to end, a match, again. So much for main event Jey Uso, folks. We call him main event Jey Uso. That's his fucking nickname, yet he's opening the fucking show because they have no faith in him. This is why, like, literally, this is why, if you really think about it, it just made more sense that they should have had Punk win the Rumble this year, and he should have main evented WrestleMania maybe facing Gunther. That would make more sense, and they could have easily done Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns as a one-on-one match. I would rather that, or again, if you want to do a custody of fucking Paul Heyman, they could have literally done a custody of Paul Heyman ladder match for all we know. This could have been a triple threat. That would have been better. Custody Heyman ladder match. That's what they should have freaking decided to make this. To make it clear that whoever wins this match gets Heyman. Like, that's what this should have been. Because that's what this match basically was. It was the custody of Paul Heyman unofficially. But whatever. First match. Jey Uso defeated Gunther by submission for the World Heavyweight Championship. I like Jey Uso, but what the fuck is that? Okay, and before I start, I forgot to mention, I was watching this show with my friends. I didn't do a live show. I mean, I could have, but like I was kind of wanting to just enjoy time with my buddies who I had over. One of them did not watch wrestling for like a very long time. They only know by like I guess by listening to like whatever's trending on social media. The other friend I had over, I had 2 friends over. The other friend is like, yeah, he's like in the know. He knew what was going on, but he's not like a very big fan as like me, who knows about wrestling like me and whatever. But it was good to hang out with the boys, watching wrestling. And was kind of also good to in a perspective of as a reviewer, like how do people react? Like we had like it was like having a focal audience. It was like kind of having a focus group, My buddies were over. One of them in the know about wrestling, the other didn't watch wrestling for a long time, but as like a casual viewer. We're watching this, and I'm seeing them like literally saying the same shit I said. How a lot of these matches have like not realistic, so many false finishes, things that are happening makes no sense, and shit that looks retarded. Like Rollins looked like a fucking straight up fag. All these matches going on longer than needed to be. So many false finishes. And it's just a lot of things make no sense. Okay? And one thing that makes no sense is Jey Uso winning this match after getting hit by a belt. And not just that, Gunter, the guy he is, tapping out in a few seconds right after he get applied with a submission. Gunter, one of the most dominant supposed wrestlers of WWE, and he loses to a submission, quickly tapping out. What, is it because he bashed Triple H recently? Because he said that the booking was not good recently? Is that why? I don't know what to tell you guys, but I like Jey, but this was just the wrong call, or this was the wrong way to go about it. Gunter losing by submission quickly. You couldn't just have him pinned? Like, Jey Uso, he did a power bomb towards the end of the match. He did a spear. He did super kicks and also splash, pre-Uso splash, but that's not enough to stop Gunter. No, you gotta have him do a pass. Like, he should have just passed out, not tap out. I mean, that was so predictable, but that would be a better way to go about it. Gunter losing. Supposedly the biggest, like, dominant guy. You know, people wanted to see this guy face Lesnar. What's the point of even wanting to see Gunther versus Lesnar if this guy can't even stand toe-to-toe to freaking Jey Uso and immediately could lose the way he did? Especially when he has beaten Jey Uso how many times now? And it just took the way they did it. It's just like, the match wasn't terrible. The match wasn't bad. But just like the way they ended it was like, nah, man, I don't know what to tell you. And then obviously you had the fans eating and shit. That's what this entire show was. It's just a yeet fest. Okay, that's all it was. Oh yeah, before the show, when the show started, I was seeing the freaking audience. This show was not sold out. Okay, it was a bunch of seats taken, and I feel bad for the people who have to pay and sit behind the stage. It's like, why do they even sell tickets for that? But like, my God. This show was clearly not sold out, and then when I fucking say this is sold out, bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. I don't know. Oh yeah, Jey Uso, he had a cool entrance where like the was it the Raiders cheerleaders, which were they're hot chicks, you know, not bad. But yeah, so much for main event Jey Uso, and he opens up the match. Whatever. Second match, we get the New Day defeating the Viking Raiders, and they ran away after winning the match. This match was just a Raw match. This was such a boring. What the fuck this match? You know, this match was just boring. And who the fuck cares? The New Day win, fine, whatever. But this match was not a WrestleMania match. This match was not a war as they were acting this match was to be. You want to make this a war? This match should have been a gimmick match, and then that would have been fine. But no, this match was just a typical Raw match you would see. And who the hell cares? Very, very terrible. Just my buddy, he was like, "Oh, is that Kofi Kingston?" You know, and it's like, yeah, that's him. What the fuck is this? Third match. Naomi gets a new theme song, and it amounts to nothing because she loses to Jade Cargill. This match was sloppy. A lot of people defend Jade Cargill lately, and then now people are saying it. I mean, I'm gonna probably say the same thing. Jade Cargill, it's hard to defend this chick when, yeah, she's not getting it. You know? Like, she looks why she looks. For people that complain about Goldberg, right? For people that complain about Goldberg and say Goldberg sucks, all the complaints could literally be given to Jade Cargill, and that's actually more accurate than Goldberg. Goldberg was a badass and could kick ass. Jade Cargill, a person who just looks like a tough girl. That's it. I hate to say that because because I do think Jade Cargill could be something. It's just she's not getting it as a wrestler. She can't fit the wrestling part, unfortunately. She defeated Naomi. The match was long. Like, she didn't beat the shit out of her, which would have been warranted. Naomi could have used the win. You know, maybe she had like some black bitches and reformed a new team bad or something. With like was I think like some of the black women from NXT. They could have done something like that, but like whatever, that didn't happen. Not that I cared. I didn't care for this match anyways, so whatever. And so much for Naomi's new look, new heel turn, and she loses. Whatever. I don't care. Fourth match, Jacob Fatu defeats LA Knight for the United States Championship. This was the only decent match so far of the show. LA Knight, very athletic, did a jumping German suplex. Jacob Fatu, a fucking beast. This was the match where my friends were only impressed with so far. Because again, Jacob Fatu is a fucking beast. And LA Knight is cool. LA Knight had a car entrance. Yeah. Jacob Fatu winning, very good. He won with 2 moonsaults. Can't complain. Good moment for him. Very happy for him. He had a moment Haku. Good for him. That was so far the decent moment of the show. So good to see Jacob Fatu winning. Very happy for him. There's nothing better. LA Knight, cool champion. It just sadly, he kind of ran his course. Definitely, I blame WWE and I blame Triple H because LA Knight, good on his part. He's not kiss ass to Triple H. He calls out how it is. He's not kiss ass. He has his worth. It's just sadly he's not kiss ass where he's not going to be as valued as let's say all these other wrestlers. I don't know why this happened. So Rey Fenix replaced a injured Rey Mysterio. Supposedly Rey Mysterio was injured on SmackDown. It could have been fake, whatever. They clearly wanted Rey Fenix on the show no matter what. They could have had Dragon Lee, right? But no, they decided to go with Rey Fenix because clearly they wanted this to be another moment to suck it up to Tony Khan, how he can present Rey Fenix. And something I didn't care to mention, well, I'm mentioning it now. So WWE announced that they're teaming up with, or they brought AAA, like I give a fuck. They brought AAA Lucha Libre, and now they're gonna be, which is like, who the fuck cares? Like, who cares? You'll buy that, but not TNA. Like, who the fuck cares about AAA? Like, seriously, who the fuck cares about luchador bullshit? Who cares? Unless you're bringing back the Cruiserweight division, or whatever, who the hell cares? Great, more jobbers are coming to this fucking company. Yeah, Triple A, who the hell cares? And that this is why it matters, suppose. I don't know. Rey Fenix, again, brother of Penta, whatever, suck up to Tony Khan, that's why he's on the show. And he replaces Rey Mysterio, and he still loses to El Grande Americano, who is Chad Gable. You would think, based on this match, we would see maybe Chad Gable exposed as, oh, get it, it's Chad Gable. That even happened at WrestleMania, And also, so much for Rey Fenix, a guy who shows up for WrestleMania and he loses. Why couldn't they have Rey Mysterio in this match? Why? And that's the sad thing. A match that someone had some build. And Rey Mysterio is not at WrestleMania. And Rey Mysterio, who's a fucking star, is not going to be at WrestleMania. But you'll replace it with Rey Fenix. How does that make any fucking sense? You know what I mean? How does that make any fucking sense? I don't know. We have Vankingo is there. Because he's the guy that got some buzz for wrestling Kenny Omega on a Dynamite. And he was there and he almost costed El Grande, Chad Gable in the match, and he helps hold Rey Fenix. Before the Tiffany Stratton match, we then had Robert Kick shows up, Shawn Michaels, and he says, tonight is the largest attendance, and it's 61,000, blah blah blah, fake ass inflated. I'm tired of I am tired of the fucking gaslighting garbage. This was not sold out. You're not kidding anybody. Oh, you're gonna talk about the largest gate next time, which I'm sure this is gonna be the largest gate. And yeah, because you're fucking greedy fucks. Fuck y'all. You could have probably maybe made more money if you actually sold affordable tickets. Just saying. The next match, which I think is the sixth match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Ric Flair. Nature Boy. Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy time. She looked like Barbie. I don't know why they got rid of her mid-original music, by the way. Now she had on NXT. Because I think that fit more the Barbie character or whatever. Anyway, so she looked like Barbie on this show. That was her entrance, which good for her. Yeah, but she did via Ric Flair with a sex change. Happy to see that. They both had the same color. I don't know why. I guess because again they're comparing each other. It's like basically that movie, The Substance, where you had two of the beautiful women in the world going at it, the younger and the older type of shit. That's basically like that. What's going on? Whatever. It's just this. You just had one hot chick versus a tranny looking motherfucker with a sex change. Whatever. Happy Shrine won. She got a chipped tooth, but you know she's a tough gal. Worked her ass off, but this match was sloppy. Didn't care. But whatever. Happy Shrine won. Thank God the tranny did not win. That she would have been a 15-time champion. Even my buddy was like, who doesn't watch wrestling anymore. He was like, he like they're clearly fake. Like really, 15-time champion already. It's just dumb. You know what does that tell you? When casuals say, you know. What else happened? I don't remember what else to say other than that. Oh yeah, one in the crowd we had a tranny in the crowd, and I was like, what the fuck kind of type of fans are we? You know, like some person you could tell is a guy and wearing pink and long hair. It's like, what's wrong with these neckbeards? Okay, what's wrong with these fat neckbearded mongoloids? These are not human people. These are weirdos. Make us like look bad. Then we see the Hall of Famers showcase. Lex Luger was in there, and I don't know why. That's sad. And Stone Cold was there. It just kind of makes you think, is he going to be on the show next? It's just so odd seeing Stone Cold not really being showcased in a bigger way, you know. But it is what it is. So, yeah. Oh yeah, how can I forget? Like Ric Flair tried to do this. Was it the Stephanie back here hot devil's kiss move? It's like, who the fuck wants to see that shit, you know? Yeah, the main event. Oh yeah, how can I forget? Before this show, they showed Bayley getting attacked. So she had, so what's her name? Live and Valkyrie has 24 hours to find a new partner, so you can tell that Becky Lynch is gonna show up and whatever. Oh yeah, Jelly Roll was the one singing the show. We had a bunch of celebrities on the house, like Lil Yachty or something, and all these dumb rappers and shit, like whatever. The main event. Seth Rollins, he comes out like he has a fucking flamethrower. It's like freaking lame. He's like trying to beat a rock with a flamethrower and doesn't even burn anything. And then he transformed to CrossFit Jesus. I see it as like mocking Jesus in all honesty, because this guy's a massive fucking atheist. And I wouldn't put it past Triple H. Triple H is supposed to be some, you know, conservative, nice Christian man, and yet he's doing devil shit. Roman Reigns then comes out, the ones, honoring his family, and then we see CM Punk, who kind of had a similar entrance like Drew McIntyre when they returned to when they went overseas for the first Clash of the Castle show. CM Punk was given back the Fire Burn song. If it's through the darkest night, fire burns. Oh, that song, that emo song. I mean, I like it. It was cool. We saw CM Punk. It's like a mixture of old and new footage of like, he's like rephrasing, I'm straight edge. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My addiction is wrestling. So he's rephrasing past terms. It's all played with the old Fireburn song, his nostalgic song. Like, clips of him, all, leading up to, this is, I'm CM Punk, and, whatever, I'm here the best in the world. And he enters. His entrance had Living Color in person to perform, which is cool. Paul Heyman entered with him. It was kind of like 2013 all over, 2012, 2013 all over again. And you would think that CM Punk learned from his mistake on what based on... Okay, we know what was going to happen, okay? But you would think, like, why would they do it again? Let's just say. And that's the problem. We never got an explanation why CM Punk went back to being friends with Paul Heyman. And then now look what they did. They basically did the same shit a story we've seen basically already, but it happened again. Whatever. Anyways. Seth Rollins, as predicted, defeated Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Fun little fact. 10 years ago, he pinned Roman Reigns in a triple threat. 10 years later, he does it again. That's a little a little fun fact for y'all, right? In case y'all didn't realize, this match would have benefited so much if this had a title on the line. It would have been great if, let's say, one of these men, other than Punk, let's say Punk won the Rumble, or one of these men won the Rumble, and the other, and if somehow they made it work where this should have had the world title involved, and somehow had it even, then I would have been fine. The fact that this match, it was basically a custody for Paul Heyman match, was just gay, okay? The love triangle bullshit over a guy is just gay. I'm sorry, it's gay, and who cares, okay? Sure, it's a story, but it's like, who the fucking cares? It's not that, like, what should have been the stake is that, the favor is, like, whoever wins this match, they get an automatic clause where they can challenge for the world title thanks to Paul Heyman. So that's what also leads to, like, Paul Heyman being, like, let's say, the key where he's, like, wanted by everybody. Even Seth Rollins wants him, that could have been the key thing of what they could have done to make this a major triple threat match. Maybe it could have been like, the winner gets unlimited world title matches. You never know, something like that. That's what I would have done. I would especially have done like CM Punk, like the whole idea CM Punk would have won, and CM Punk, like, because again going back to what happened with the Rock and Cena thing from Chamber. It all ties up because again, did they just forget the fucking promo that CM Punk cut about Cena and The Rock? They're just gonna ignore that? I don't know. Anyway, Seth Rollins, he defeated Roman Reigns and CM Punk with the help of Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman screwed over CM Punk again, basically the same way he did before. Low blowed him, and then like, you made me choose over you, my tribal chief, let me give this to you, I love you, my tribal chief. And then like Paul Reigns is like so like all happy and smiley, and then he hits CM Punk the chairs, and he hit Rollins, or he was about to hit Rollins, but then Heyman does the low blow to him too. And then he gives Rollins the chair. On a shield chair! It's like, shut up with that term, Michael Cole, I hate you! On a shield chair! And my who doesn't watch wrestling anymore was like, a shield chair? What kind of term is that? And it's like, oh yeah, I know, brother. I know. I get you. And then yeah, Seth Rollins did the curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, he wins, and then they celebrate. And Heyman's, and then we see the show ending with Punk and Roman are heartbroken basically. So now you might see get it. They'll probably team up together against Heyman and Rollins. Who okay, so Rollins basically is a heel now, and Heyman, like he has the heat. He's not the rest. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know. This match was very good. I'm not denying this. This match was a very good match. It did have a bunch of false finishes though, which it's too much. We know that these are not finishes because the show is not ending. I mean, sure, the show could have ended any time because it was after 10. You know, they like to sometimes end the show a little early now. But it's like, come on, man. A bunch of false finishes, like, should have been ended. Like, the fact that Roman Reigns, he pinned Seth Rollins, and Rollins kicked out after a power bomb and a spear, and Rollins still kicked out was just unbelievable. I'm sorry. That just, like, no. Oh, yeah. They had new announce tables. They made it look like they were going to not ever break, but they were breakable. But, hey. So, bunch of false finishes, but a bunch of moves happened also. A bunch of nice storytelling, I guess. They brawled in the crowd. A bunch of moves happened. Bunch of storytelling, maneuvers. It was a good triple threat. I'm not denying that. It was a very good. It was definitely the match of the night. It was. I'm not denying that. It just, if only this will all have mattered and made sense if this was for a title, or this was like, the winner not only gets Heyman, they can get a limited title shot. Just some stakes, for crying out loud. There needs to be some stakes instead of just some bullshit. I'll get it. We're gonna fight for the sake of fighting. It's just so gay. Unless if, again, it only makes sense if you were legit doing Rollins versus Reigns, I would understand. And you could have made that Hell in a Cell. That would have been perfect. Especially for their history, hell yeah. But no, it's just, they're all three fight each other because they need the main event Mania, whatever. And they all beef, which is not a problem. Like, just if only, like, some stakes to lead them to the future, because now, okay, one of them gets Heyman, the other two gets whatever. What's next? What's Ron's gonna do next? Or Heyman's gonna feud with Heyman's gonna have a match with either of them? That's not gonna happen. I don't know. It's just, I'm also tired of Heyman turning his back on certain people, and then already we gotta have him like be a new wise man for somebody. Like, maybe it's time to see him as a babyface. Don't you guys think? Have him as a babyface, managing Roman, maybe even Punk even. I don't know, something. It's overdone. It's like the whole turns. It's so overdone, and just like it's probably Reigns' thing. I mean, Heyman's thing, but it's been overdone. It's like it's time to stop. Who the hell cares? It's 2025. I hate to be that person, right? But it's 2025. I hate to say the year, but it's like, who the hell cares? Especially with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the lamest fucking wrestler you could have with Heyman too. Unless this means that Heyman is going to talk for Rollins and is going to save us the mystery of hearing Rollins, then fine. But like, how is it believable for Rollins to defend his little wise man? You know what I mean? Like, it's understandable if Heyman was to defend his wise man. Heck, even Punk. You could buy him as more of a tough guy based on his real life scrums backstage brawls. Even though he's failed in UFC. But at least he had more credentials than fucking shitty gay ass Rollins. But whatever. This match was very good. You've seen a bunch of times that it made it seem that Reigns was going to get pinned, a bunch of false finish. We've seen a pedigree from a spear to a pedigree. We see go to sleeps. We see a bunch of spears, a bunch of curb stuff, but them kicking out. But again, they both kicked out. Like, it's like too much. You see, I wouldn't really have much of a problem, with these false finishes if it wasn't done so many times. If WrestleMania, then fine. But like we've seen these like throughout the times, like even with again when they did Punk and Rollins recently, right? They did the past two times, bunch of false finishes. It's like it's too much, you know. We did there are two Raw matches, bunch of false finishes, too much people. Um, again, I was kind of turned off with like Roman. He powerbombed Rollins and spears him and he kicked out. That just was just dumb. Okay, so they did this thing where Rollins and Reigns, hey, let's just put aside the differences. Come on, this guy came back. He's gonna ruin this business. Let's help each other. And then they made it seem like, oh, they're gonna have a shield moment, right? Roman was about to have a shield moment with Rollins, and then he uppercuts Rollins. He does both power bombs to them. Again, that leads to the power bomb and spear. After he power bombed both men through the table, he goes to spear Rollins, but then kicked out right after that, which is dumb. Then we see Heyman. He gets the chair, and he brings it to the ring. He's like, I'm carrying it to Punk. I love you! And then he fucking low blows him. So much for like, so basically they're doing it again. It's like we're rehashing the 2013 heel turn. Or turn on Rollins. I mean Punk, which is like, so that just makes Punk look a dumbass. Why would he even forgive Paul Heyman? You know? Why would he forgive him in the first place where he even helped him, you know? And now he turned on Roman, and now Rollins is like, whatever. I'm sorry, but it's like Rollins and Heyman being together, like, that doesn't click to me well. Because Heyman, he's the one that actually organized the Shield, so that's their little excuse to make it seem like, get it? It makes sense for them to be together now. It's like, really? Who cares? So Rollins a Paul Heyman guy now. He curb stomped Reigns in the end of the match after using both chairs on both of them, and takes advantage to curb stomp Reigns at 1, 2, 3. Rollins beats Reigns, and now Heyman, now Reigns is like heartbroken or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. I just like again, I just think it's gay. I don't really care for it. Do I hate it? Not necessarily, but it's just I know like by the time Raw happens, I'm gonna be like tired of this. Like you know damn well what's gonna happen. It's like who the hell really cares? Gonna care? What's gonna be next? With Rollins and Heyman. Like they're not really gonna do much. I feel. Other than that, how am I gonna really care? I don't really care to see Rollins and Heyman. I don't. I don't. I would rather Heyman just stick to either Reigns or Punk or just retire. Like, there's nothing anymore. I'm done with that. But the match was very good. Despite some of the problems with the false finishes, it was a very good match. Me and my buddies did enjoy the match. We did thought some of the false finishes were too much, but it was a very good match. It was. It was definitely the way to end the show. It would definitely have been benefit if there was a world title involved, or again, like some stakes involved. But whatever. In the end of the day, if that match didn't happen, WrestleMania would have been dreadful. It would have been considered a very mid show. It is a mid show. We have. Let's be honest here. One match doesn't save a show, really. Okay. This show really wasn't that good. It really wasn't. If that main event did not happen, this show would have been considered. I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, this show is not even close to being one of the best WrestleManias in recent memory, or even the best. It's not. You're just really lucky you had that great main event to save your show. This show was mid. Up until main event, this show was like probably considered one of the worst. But then if that main event didn't happen, it would have been probably very high of one of the worst. It's still mid show though. It really is. From Gunter losing the way he did, to all these fucking shitty matches that are just a bunch of Raw matches, and whatever, a lot of stuff, but who cares? I mean, if you really think about it, this entire show could have happened on the Raw. Okay, this show really kind of almost felt like a glorified Raw, if you're really honest with yourself. And this is WrestleMania. I don't know. Overall, that's my thoughts on WrestleMania. Very mid show. Very, very mid. Predictable, mid. I'm not surprised that Rollins and Punk are together, but it's like I don't care to see that. But I will say the match was very good. That's it. That's it. That's all I can say. So for night one of WrestleMania, I can't really say this was a good show. It was not a good show. But yeah, that's just night one. But because they do consider this as its own WrestleMania, and that's a night one main event. That's a main event, guys. We can't. It's not really considered, I guess, together. But that's the thing. You know. I mean, I don't know. Back in the day, they were able to fill certain matches, no matter how long. I don't know. I don't know. Some people complain that all these matches are not long or indie-fied. But it's like, what do you want? Even if they were indie-fied, these would not be considered good matches. I'll be honest with y'all, okay? Let's be for real here. A lot of these matches lack story, who cares, And yeah, also that's another thing I want to mention. Rey Mysterio, the guy who actually kind of tried to build up with the match with Chad Gable, and then you fucking just dropped it for no reason. Like, really? I don't know. I don't care. Anyways, for a night one show, did not like this show. Just did not. Okay? Did not like the show overall. Very mid show. Very boring show for the most part. The main event saved the show, really. And Jey winning. I like Jey, but come on, man. Him winning the World Championship the way he did. What I would have done, I would have had Jey Uso instantly lost the match because of the world title thing. Gunther had the world title to hit him and could have choked him out easily. But, they could have done something where it could have led to maybe, a Raw rematch. They could have, literally, that's what they could have done. Build up some heat, and they could have done instantly, hey, I want you one more time. And then they could have even done something where, if Jey doesn't win, he has to retire or something. That's what they could do. They could have added that as the Raw after WrestleMania special, the main event, making maybe no disqualifications, and then Jey wins, getting his moment. That's a way to end the Raw after Mania. That's a way to go into stuff, I need something to care about, folks. Come on. I need some stories. I need some heat. I mean, Rollins sure has the heat with Heyman, but it's like Heyman has the most heat, and it's really great. Who cares, though? And Gunther's ruined. Gunther, a guy who could be something, and he's ruined. Jacob Fatu winning was cool. That's it, though. The match was fine, but, whatever. It's still a SmackDown match, if you really think about it. I don't know. With this WrestleMania, just very mid. That's all I have to say. Tune into my night 2 video. Tomorrow we'll record it. A bunch of videos I have already recorded, but they're going to be uploaded throughout the week. Like, for example, I recorded the Collision Dynamite review, and I recorded TakeOver. They'll be coming after WrestleMania, because this is just going to be a solely WrestleMania weekend. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Easter, ladies and gentlemen. God bless y'all. God bless my Christians and non-Christians and everyone. God bless, it's a holy week. If you're Muslim, Christian, whatever, Jewish, for all y'all religious, stay religious. God bless y'all, and don't smoke weed. Fuck 420. Till next time, peace. Yeah, bye. Don't smoke weed, kids. It's not good for the children.